Attorney John Perry, first of all, congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Going more than 2 decades now
That's
in
right.
business,
That's right.
serving the community as an immigration lawyer. But more than that, thank you for being an ally to the LGBTQIA+ community.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity for us to present ourselves as an ally, because it's very, very important to the work that we do, and we're very proud of that work.
Even before this conversation, I have been hearing about you, I know, and your office. I know that you have done a lot of DOMA cases, even before the Supreme Court deemed it constitutional.
That's right.
And then you've done a lot about asylum as well.
Correct.
You're doing a lot in this community. Why is that important for you?
Our firm has a special affinity to the LGBTQ+ community, because we've always had people on our staff and part of our firm who are members of the community. We have a special affinity to their needs. And as you were mentioning, before the Supreme Court found a constitutional right to same-sex marriage, which was a watershed moment, it was still possible for same-sex couples to apply for a green card for the foreign national if they married somewhere where the marriage was legal. So there were a handful of states that authorized same-sex marriage before the Supreme Court made it a national right. And so we have a lot of experience with those cases.
And not just experience, a lot of success.
That's right. Working with those clients to help them put together, really, really strong evidence about their relationship, even outside of the sort of the traditional paperwork that, say, for example, a heterosexual couple might have had.
Right. And that's really what it boils down to. I am an immigrant myself, and I came here to the U.S., it wasn't a straight line.
Right.
It was very difficult.
Right.
And we feature a lot of immigrant stories, and one of the struggles that people deal with, first and foremost, is documentation. Because
right.
without it,
That's
your
right.
hands are pretty tied.
That's right.
And I can attest to why picking the right lawyer for you, who understands you and who will fight for you, is very important.
Absolutely.
And you found a niche in this community, because aside from the DOMA cases, you also now have handled asylum.
Yeah.
Guys, we're talking about asylum being used as a way to a green card or citizenship by the LGBTQ community.
That's right.
If you are leaving a country where you don't feel safe because you are an LGBTQ, right?
Yes, there are certain basic eligibility requirements for filing for asylum, one of which is to file within 1 year of arriving in the U.S.
Yes.
There are exceptions, and one of them is a change in condition. Example of a change in condition is someone who comes out later in their life, or it comes out after that 1 year period. We had cases where people were in heterosexual marriages who then later came out and then married same-sex partner. Those cases take a certain kind of preparation, because the officer is tasked with determining whether he or she believes that the person actually is same-sex oriented. But
Right.
it's about protecting the client, educating the officer, all in a way that is palatable and
Right.
produces the outcome that we're looking for.
And speaking of educating, I know that there's still much education around what we call ART, artificial reproductive technology.
It's actually one of the most cutting-edge issues in immigration for the community. It refers to surrogacy, artificial insemination. When you have same-sex parents, oftentimes what happens is there'll be a surrogate who is the gestational
Yes.
parent. The surrogate may be outside the U.S. The old interpretation of law said that the child had to have a genetic relationship to both parents.
Got it. So now this is just, for instance, one.
Right.
Because one sperm.
That's right.
Right? Okay.
Right. So there would be a U.S. citizen father, and then a foreign national's father is the source of the sperm.
Okay.
And then there's a surrogate who is outside the country. So the State Department has now changed its policy to allow for the acquisition of the U.S. citizen father's status as a citizen, even if the
even if it's
the
not his
genetic
sperm.
father, even if the genetic father is not a citizen.
Got it.
So
got it.
that was a major change
Right.
in policy.
And it's a victory for LGBTQ community members who want to start a family. Those are the reasons. If you think you may qualify for any of those, you call the law office of Attorney John Perry. But you're not limited or restricted to the LGBTQ community because you serve all of us.
That's correct. I mean, we are a full-service U.S. immigration law firm, and we have a very experienced staff. I'm so proud of our staff. We've got one of the most experienced groups of people, I think, in the city.
You know, a lot of information. People there, viewers, may be relating to some of these cases already. Information on the screen, guys, if you want to get in touch with Perry and Alznauer, Attorney John Perry of Perry and Alznauer. Thank you once again. Hope to see you again.
Thank you, Jannelle. Appreciate it.